So in this video, we're going to take a little bit of extra time and we're going to set up an entire vocabulary edit system for a specific vocabulary. Now, just to kind of show you what I've done here, I've taken the liberty of setting up our vocabulary to begin with. So if we come to taxonomy, you'll see I have a news topics vocabulary. And if we come into content types and take a look at our managed fields on news, you'll see I've added a term reference field for that particular vocabulary. So just taking a look at it, create news, here's our topics field. Now what we want to do is, since this vocabulary is only being used for news, we want to go ahead and co-locate all of the administration for that right here on the news. So we're just going to go ahead and get started on that. Now, I'm attempting to name everything as consistently as possible as I do this, because I want to contribute this entire module back when I'm done. Now what we're going to do is the vocabulary edit screen is actually going to be set up as a tab, and since we want to add additional tabs to that, we're going to do a default tab underneath the primary level of tabs. You'll see exactly how this works as we go through. As with everything else we've done thus far, this is going to be an admin overlay, context admin, access controls, invisible menu item. Now on access, just to kind of shake it up a little bit, I'm going to do this based upon role, so it's only going to work for administrators. And then, as I said, we're going to do a default menu tab. Now the first thing we want to do is call this one edit. And we're going to tell it that its parent is a normal menu, or actually we're going to tell it that it's a menu tab. And there we will enter, actually let's make it topics. I want it to appear after the administration, which we set to a tab weight of 10 previously. And we are going to select vocabulary options. Once here, you'll have a listing of all vocabularies in the entire system, and so we just pick one. And then I want the vocabulary edit. So if we go ahead and click Finish on this, update and save, you'll see I have a Topics tab now that I can easily come in and click, and we can edit this just like we would anywhere else. Right, so still on the Topics page. Come in here, get rid of that, hit Save again. So, what we want to do here is we want to go ahead and add our subtabs in. And since we're going to be using largely the same paths and the same plugins, I'm just going to go ahead and edit what we've already done, and I'm going to clone it. Now, because this is going to be menu tabs, we're just going to continue to occupy this same space, and we are cloning the variant. So once that's done, if I come into menus here, we just want a menu tab now. And I can make this say list, and we'll set it to a weight of 1. Then if we come into content, you'll see we don't actually need to change anything since we cloned the variant. And inside of content settings, we're just going to tell it we want to list terms instead of edit the vocabulary, update and save. And if we'll come back to news and visit topics, you'll see I now have a list tab in here where I can click, and we will have all of our terms. Now I haven't added any terms yet, but we'll come back to that. We're just going to go ahead and clone this one that we've got. We'll change it to add. set the weight to a 2. And then again, we don't need to do anything except for come into content settings and tell it we want to add terms. Update and save. Visit our news section again. And then once here, you can see we can add terms easily. So if I wanted to, I could say term 1. We're just going to hit save. And you'll see we stay in the same place. Term 2. Term 3. That's probably good enough for now. If I come over here to list, you'll see those terms I just added are now available. And if I wanted to make term 2 sub to term 1, I could do that. And very easy to do this sort of stuff. So kind of gives you an idea of what can actually be done with that vocabulary field, the vocabulary plugin. And all of this stuff is actually keyed by the new vocabulary machine name. So if you export this and you have something that'll export your vocabulary as well, it should be all portable.